government itself saying we're going to give them everything. See what I mean? We can give you, but it may not be up to your standard. It may not be exactly what you need. It's only minimal, just enough. Because as we all know, the government is not an entity that's like a business, that it sells a product and therefore increases its revenue. Instead, what it is, it offers security. It offers the opportunity to protect everyone's right to be able to strive and be able to achieve what they look to achieve for their families, for their friends, and within their community. That's what we're here to do. And so, the Republican Party of Florida wants to work hard to make sure that we put all these things together. And the one thing that I want to emphasize, as a field director in Miami, I'm going to be traveling the state all throughout these 2 years because I want to hear you. I want to hear what your needs are. I want to hear what you think is the best way to engage our community, to engage our minority community, both African Americans, both Hispanic, every single minority community. How can we get this message out so they can understand it? Because a lot of times, I think that the Republican message is great, but I think we're not presenting it in the right way. I don't think it's being presented correctly, especially because we want to engage every group using the same exact message tailored the exact same way when everyone is different. And they need to hear it in a different way. It needs to be rephrased, but given the same definition. So definitely, I want to listen to you. I want to hear your comments, your concerns. How do you think we can best reach out to everyone in your community and in our communities to make sure that they too feel like they're a part of and can participate of this election process and can be given that freedom, that right to also grow and thrive and have all the freedom that they so desire to be able to start new businesses, to be able to get an education. So many of our students are not graduating from high school. I see it down in Miami all the time. 50%, 60% of the Hispanic community, the African American community, to this day is not graduating from high school, let alone getting a higher education. For whatever reason, broken families or lack of money or whatever. But we need to figure out a way to change all that. But the only way we can do that is if we listen to you. Because you, better than anyone, knows the issues that's going on in your area, in your location. So that's definitely one thing that the Republican Party is trying to emphasize now more than ever, is to listen, and from there, come up with ideas, come up with ways where we can engage our community to come together and become a part of these club, organization, caucuses, etc. Because if they become a part of this, like you guys are, then they in fact will see that they are a part of an engaged community that's striving to do better, bigger and better things. That they are a part of it, and therefore they need to work toward seeing their views, their values, their principles represented. Therefore, they're going to vote. Because now they're going to say, wow, you know what? The Republican Party listens to me. It understands where I come from. And therefore, because it understands and listens to me, and it's willing to bring representatives who are going to represent my views, my concerns, and my issues in my community, then I'm going to vote for it. Otherwise, it won't. And a lot of times I feel that there's been like a gap between the minority communities and the Republican Party because of that. Because we haven't done a great job at explaining to people in a way that is simple and easy for them to understand that we do have a plan to secure that we have thriving businesses that will have, enough regulation, but not too much regulation, where they can still have that freedom to hire more people, because government doesn't give you jobs. Businesses are the ones that give you jobs, and new businesses are the ones that provide jobs. And so we need to make sure that we have regulation, but at the same time we have enough free enterprise where these businesses are not bogged down by the regulations, and therefore can have the enthusiasm and the freedom to say, you know what, I am going to hire your daughter or your son from high school to work for my company, and they are going to work their way up, and we are going to help sponsor their education so that they can continue to grow in our company and become the future CEOs of our company. Like it used to happen before. It's not happening now because of the way the economy is. But these are things that we need to do together. And I think that as the Republican Party of Florida field representative, that's what I want to do. And being able to provide that to you. The Republican Party is right now working on a comprehensive plan. We recently came back from Tallahassee from a quarterly meeting where we were discussing all of these things. And we were breaking it down, and we will continue to discuss them even further at our annual meeting in Orlando. But definitely, we're working together to try to put together a comprehensive plan where we can reach out better to our African American community, to our minorities communities in general, and tailor the message so that they understand it. Tailor it exactly for them, for what they need to hear, for what it is that makes sense. Because the message is great, but if we don't tailor it to make sure that it reaches to that specific group of people, we're getting at nothing. They're gonna think that we're still extended, that we're still away, that we're still the rich party, like a lot of people like to say. You know, the party that does not accept immigrants, like a lot of people like to say. Which is not true. Because we are a party that has been fostering 4th, 5th, 6th generation immigrants that have been striving and have been growing. And just like Sid said, we need to make sure that we give them the tools, you know, not just give them the fish so they can eat for a day, but actually teach them how to fish so that they can fish for life. And that's what we're here to do. That's the plan for these 2 years. That's the plan for 2014. And if we do that, I can assure you that we are going to win these elections, that the Republican ticket is going to thrive, that we're going to see all of our candidates get elected and represent us well. And Florida is going to be in a much better position. We're going to see more of our students graduating from school. We're going to see more of our people be able to have a low cost of living, a comfortable cost of living. They will be safe, knowing that they will have a job, a secure position, wherever it is, that they'll have the tools and the trainings they need in order to get the positions they need. And all these things will be available to them, not because we handed it to them, but because we were able to work together to get there. Thank you so much. God bless you. And if you have any questions.
Okay, with that being all said and done, we're at membership approval. How many of y'all have already agreed to join the caucus this evening? Okay, it's 1, 2, just 2, 3, just 3. So, okay, this is our opportunity to open this up to you guys. What is it that is holding you back from wanting to be a part of an organization that wants to focus solely on supporting every aspect of our community? And I say our community because we're all in here, all of us are black. Even Allison and Glass.
We all live the same community.
Please, follow me.
Let me just go into a little tangent on why I think it's important to vote, or not, I'm sorry, not vote, to join. To join. It's important to join because, and I'll give you an example. In the Young Republican Federation of Florida, Palm Beach County, in the Palm Beach County branch, there's only maybe, for the most part, I'm the one that attends most frequently. I'm the only black person that attends that caucus on a frequent basis. Now, one of the things that I realize when I'm in that meeting is that there are things and concerns that matter to me more than it matters to someone else. And I see it from perspective differently than other people there because I come from a different background. My background is Haitian, of course, and so I bring in a different perspective. Now, if everyone is sitting around and having a vote about, you know, what's the direction of the individual body, and there is no one there to influence the vote in a way that's going to more favorably look at how African Americans can join the Republican Party or can be involved and engage in the Republican Party, what's going to happen is that you're not going to get represented. And so we need your membership not only to grow, but to have an influence in the Republican Party. You can't blame the Republican Party for going a certain direction when there's only a few people talking about this is where you need to go. If you're not represented in the room, you cannot sway the way it's gonna go in your favor. It is gonna influence your community. If it's gonna touch your the way you need to see it in your the Democratic Party, in my sense, okay, our strongest thing in the black community, whether it be African American, whether it be Haitian American, has always been the church. You know, you go back, and I go from Haitian American side. You go back in the day when they were coming off the boats. You had many churches in Miami-Dade that was taking in citizens that were coming off of the boat, you know, and providing them shelter, food, and things to eat. And it's a strong community. But the biggest thing is now that the Democratic Party is trying to shut down the voice of the church. And this is just the reality of it. It's becoming increasingly hostile to the things that have kept us so strong, that have carried our history, and that has the core of our spiritual belief. It's shutting down the voice of the church. And if you cannot speak, who will? So you need to take this seriously and look at how you're going to join, how you're going to get other people involved about joining, what you're going to be doing to take back. When you leave this meeting, how are you going to take it back to your different prospective communities and neighborhoods to bring them involved and get them in? This room is too small. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's everybody's in here, and it's a good crowd, but it's too small. This is the Black Republican Caucus of South Florida. Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach County, we got some people in Brevard. You know, this room is too small. For the amount of Republicans that I know, amount of conservative people, amount of people that know that they want their communities to be better and do better, but we have to do it as individuals. And so it's important that you join because we need the numbers. We need the people, we need the base. You know, it's not going to be just the board doing things. You know, it's everybody. It's a collective thing. We want you in it. We want you in it, and we want your effort. We want your soul, your talent, whatever you can give to make this thing bigger and better, so we can make our community stronger. Okay?
Can I say something? Hi, I'm Gladys Van Honor. I have 6 children. I'm a Catholic. I'm a right to lifer, and I'm a practicing Catholic. My oldest child has cerebral palsy, and my 3rd child has central auditory processing disorder, which is it's slightly mentally retarded. When we wanted to go to Lake Lytle here in West Palm Beach, which is basically the pool where all the white people go swimming, to get my kids on swim team, my son is going to be 30 years old next summer. So this is 25 years ago, maybe 23 years ago. We went, and my son was not accepted. So we have an area we have a community here, a pool called Gaines Park. And it's predominantly in a black neighborhood with black parents and children. I took my son there to swim. And he was so loved and so treated so well that my kids were on that swim team. In fact, my second son, who doesn't have any issues, is still a lifeguard at that pool. But while I was there, I learned something. I'm conservative. Fiscally conservative. I'm, Catholic. I'm religious. We go to Mass every Sunday. Faith is we pray every day at dinner together, and other times we pray. When I went to this pool, and all these lovely moms and dads were there and their kids were swimming, I was welcome, but I learned something. The black community's dreams, goals, ambitions, and faith, not any different than mine. Not different at all from my dreams, my goals, my faith.